Hit the like and the share button, people. Thank you and welcome back to the Football Terrace. But I am fuming. United may have drawn the game 3-3 in the end, but I am absolutely raging inside with this team, with these players, and with this manager. We start the game well. We ride through an opening onslaught. We have a good structure. We keep our head. We stay composed. And then we're able to go and score 2 goals. Very good from Rashford. Very good from Rashford. Very good from Rasmus Højlund. Dodgy goalkeeping, yes, but we get a 2-0 lead. And even though I don't trust this manager to make us consistent, the Man United fan in me is saying, right, keep your shape. Maintain your composure. Get a very good away victory away from home in Europe. Come back, regroup, and try and build some consistency. But no, this manager's structure is it is like a wet paper bag. We then become too narrow, too compact. We conceded all the space in the wings. Ball in the box, ball in the box, ball in the box. Panicking, trying to clear it away. What is Lisandro Martinez doing for the first goal? Why is he asleep? And the second goal, 3, 4, 5 attempts to clear it. No one gets rid of the ball. This team then starts the second half. Rashford's gone off. Best player on the pitch. Rashford goes off. We start the second half open. 9:15. Wide, bruv. Every second half, we concede all the space. The composure we showed in the first 10 minutes of the first half go out the window. And of course, our centre-backs are going to be exposed when we're that wide, when we're that open. Of course they are. Arsenal, in my opinion, have the best defence in Europe right now. Liverpool's is very good. If they were this open, their centre-backs would be exposed. Samu scores his second. It's 3-2 Porto, and that made it number 24. Number 24, 24 goddamn times. This team, under Erik Ten Hag, has conceded 3 or more goals in a game. In our last 4 now, away European matches, we have conceded 17 goals. Now, we've scored 12, but conceded 17. Do you know most teams in Europe would give their right arm to score 12 goals in their last 4 away games in Europe? One of them was at Bayern Munich, one of them today at Porto. Galatasaray, hard place to go. But we can't keep a goddamn clean sheet. Lisandro tonight was awful. There's no doubt. The lip was off the pace. There is no doubt. I thought, Bruno, listen, do I think he deserved the red card? No. But his overarching performance was awful. They bought the second yellow, but it was a high boot. I understand why in the moment the referee has given that, because it was near to the face. VAR can't get involved. I think he was unlucky to be sent off, but a stinker, a wretched, putrid, almost like a fermented egg stench about his performance today. And what I know a sub scored the equaliser, but he brings on Xerxes for Rasmus again, and we don't want to see that. We want to see Xerxes and Rasmus together. Again, what happened to Rasmus tonight? We created 1 chance in the game for him and he scored. After that, fucking nothing. 0. Niente. Nil point for him. Just overall, another shocking performance. We got the point. If the manager goes, this might help him in terms of getting through to the next round. But I am just, honestly, so frustrated, so angry at the way we set up, the way we try to play. And people can say, oh, I saw someone tweet, oh, the decline of Martinez needs to be studied. No, it doesn't. Hear the stat. 31 times we've conceded 2 or more goals under Ten Hag. 24 times we've conceded 3 or more. It doesn't matter whether Maguire starts, Lissandro starts or he's injured. We sign new defenders. Doesn't matter who we play in the DM role, keeps happening. Wake up. Smell the coffee. I am not stating that we don't need to improve on our players, but this diabolical, rancid, backwards thinking idea that you can just improve the players and this will get better is wrong. The manager's system is the issue. And do you know what I'm more angry at? Is the lack of depth that goes into the analysis. I heard the commentators that these players need a bit more passion. How are they meant to have more passion with that structure, that system, the way they are made to play? It is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I'm going to say well done to Rashford tonight. I thought he played well into it. I think he got injured. Well done to Rasmus Højlund as well. Again, he's an off-the-shoulder striker who needs chances to be created for him. That's what we bought. We don't cater enough for him. Fair enough. And well done to Maguire. He did come on. He played well, scored the equaliser. I don't want to take that away from him. But this is another shocking performance. And I know you can focus on individuals or what they should do better, what more they could do. But wake up and smell the mother coffee. Wake up and smell it. Doesn't matter how many transfer windows we have, whether players are fit, out of the team, in or out of position, we're still conceding like this. We're still collapsing in this way. Last season when Lissandro was out, this was happening. He's back, it's happening. This nonsense of we need better than Lissandro. Maybe you're right, but we do not have the right environment to even test that theory in yet. Because the way we play is hideous. And all the top teams, there's things you could pull on Arsenal, things you could pull on Real Madrid at the moment. There's things you could pull on everybody. But no one, in my opinion, there isn't a team in European football, that's the European competitions, Europa Conference, Premier League, and there isn't a team in a top league in Europe that plays as bad a football that we do. We have the worst brand, the worst structure, the worst chemistry and togetherness, and are the worst drilled team out there. I agree we need better technical players. I agree we need to improve the squad. I do not denounce that. I do not reject it. But everything that went wrong tonight has been going wrong for months and years, and I am tired. I am absolutely over it. Absolutely over it. And do you know what? I spoke about this long and hard today with KJ around, do I want to win tonight? Do I want to lose tonight? Like, how do I feel? And I do feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place. I want Ten Hag to go. I do not believe he can make us consistent. So kind of don't want to win games. But there's also part of me that thinks, well, let's maybe win a game or draw a game and not play well. Let's see if Ineos do the right thing and still sack him at the end of this week. That would give us a very positive message, potentially, about our owners. But I look at Chelsea tonight. Now, look, they conceded 2 goals, didn't play good football, but it's literally their second team. And I look at them and think the improvements on last season because of a new head coach. Consistency with the plan, the structure, the rebuild, but a brand new head coach. And I mean structure at board level. And you've seen those improvements. We need to do the same. This week in European football, I've seen so many teams, Bologna as an example, Lille last night against Real Madrid, even Gent. Just such a better structure and style of football on the pitch compared to big Man United. It is an utter disgraceful abomination, not just to Man United, but to football in general, that we spend what we spend and we perform like that. I want the luxury of being in a position to start tearing some of these players down. But I honestly feel like I can't do that. I honestly feel like doing that now is premature. It's definitely a task for the future. But there is no... Listen, we all blamed Casemiro for the defense being open. We took him out, put new people in, still open. Wake up. Superchat here says, I even celebrated Maguire's goal, 7 Hags stay. Yeah, I bet you did. What makes this performance even worse is Porto was so bad. Well, do you know what's interesting for Porto? Porto actually, as soon as they went 3-2 up, shut up shop and were quite compact and made it very, very hard for us. That is what we should have done at 2-0 and then hit them on the counter. The fact we can't do that at our level is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It really is. 10 seconds to do something. Chaos, Ten Hag ball. And you know what? You've got it right there. It is chaos. And I was sitting there thinking, right, okay, it's gone to 2-2. That isn't great. But we've already seen we can score against them tonight. Do you know what we did? We turned it into a basketball match. Why? Why do that? That is a managerial instruction. The mentality and coaching in this team sucks. It was going to be the last 30 seconds that were nearly in. Even when we equalized, there was no urgency to win the game. Just pathetic from the players. I'll be honest with you, that element, I thought we were right not to. Because knowing our luck, we would go all out attack after equalizing and then concede and lose. And look, listen, I'd actually say a bad performance and a draw this weekend might not also be the worst result for us in terms of staying in touching distance and not having competitions thrown away. But overall, the mentality is awful. I agree. Terry, you are an excellent guy and have a great attitude about football. I am sorry you are subjected to this dross. Look, I appreciate that about me personally. I want to see better. And I've got angry before over other clubs and the way they behave and do things, because sometimes I just sit there and think, why? Why is this nonsense going on? And do you know what it is? I'm not even annoyed at Ineos yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not quite there yet. It's more when I see people overly focusing on the players today. I'm like, but we've seen different players under this manager have the same problems. Surely you understand that it's not on them per se. Like Costa tonight, it's his fault those goals went in. Although I thought Rasmus's was just a really powerful shot. However, Man United's issues were more our structure than anything else. Imagine letting like 3 or 4 crosses in the space of 2 or 3, like 5, 6, 7 seconds in between them come into the box. And you don't... Oh, awful. It really, really is. I'm going to bring the panel out now to have their say on the show. Make sure... The only saving grace is we got the equaliser, because I think this would have been an even bigger string with people... coming in to laugh there. On Chelsea, look, I haven't touched on Chelsea. I found it really hard to watch their game because United were on and it was so frustrating. We'll get the Chelsea guys out. I'm not too sure who's here to do it, to come across and have their say. So, yes. Yeah. We'll get some of them on to have their say on the show, because I didn't watch. And I saw some really good football. What I will say is I saw some really good football from Chelsea tonight. Some really, really good football indeed. Defensively, I thought they were a little bit suspect at times. Totally understand, though, 11 changes. And 11 changes is huge. 11 changes is really, really huge for some of these individuals. But Chelsea's attack just looks absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous at this particular moment in time. It really, really does. And they're still a work in progress. They're still going to get better. But as I say, I didn't necessarily... watch enough of the game to give a full and utter breakdown. And there we go. A few people asking about the red card. Yeah, look, as I say, for me, the replay shows that it isn't a red card. So now we've seen the replay, 100% not a red card. Frustrated. The difference in this, though, for me, and it is a lack of consistency, it's the fact that I don't understand why VAR can't get involved with second yellow cards that lead to reds. Because I think if VAR can get involved, they see there's no contact and they probably say, last warning. The problem is in real time, with the angle the referee was at, it looked like it hit his face. So I understand why in real time, with the player holding his face on the floor, why the referee is given it. I really do. The biggest question here for VAR is how in God's great name can they not get involved in second yellow cards? Especially when you watch the replay and you can see there was no contact. His leg kind of hit his chest a little bit. So, look, Bruno shouldn't have got a red card. It was a high boot, which you can call a foul. I think if you don't make contact, it's very, very harsh to get a second yellow. But it's something I've been talking about for weeks on the terrace about the referees getting involved. They should get involved in yellow cards. I don't understand why they don't. It's a weird one for me that they're not getting themselves involved in yellow cards. So look, Bruno Fernandes will feel harsh. I'm not sure if there's an ability to appeal second yellows in UEFA. I don't know the answer to that. But from my perspective, harsh, but I understand it was given in real time. My biggest issues when it comes to calling out refereeing decisions is when you see them referee makes a decision in real time, they have VAR to rectify it, and they stick with the mistake. That, for me, is unforgivable because you've got the ability now to rectify mistakes. You can't in this regard because that's the protocol. So as frustrating as it is, I can accept these types of mistakes from referees. I really can. The same as I've said about the second yellows for kicking the balls away Arsenal have had. I get why they're given. You just have to give those yellow cards to everybody now and not pick and choose when you do it. I hope that makes sense to everybody that is asking. We are going to talk about Chelsea. We're going to bring the panel out to do that in a few moments' time. I bet you, Terry, Pep Guardiola asked Xavi to give United the win. Maybe. De Ligt had a nightmare. De Ligt was poor today. I wouldn't deny for a single second that De Ligt wasn't poor. But I'm going to say this, and I'll say it again. I'm not surprised with the way we're structured. I give me the two best centre-backs in the world, give them 3 months, give them 6 months playing for this manager, in the way our team exposes our backline, and I guarantee they start having stinkers. I absolutely guarantee you they start to have stinkers. I guarantee you they get open up and hurt. Of course they will. You expose any defender, the volume of times that we do, they're going to get hurt. If we make one mistake sometimes and miss one tackle in the middle, it's often 3 or 4 on 1, 3 or 4 on 2, regularly, every game, no matter who we play. That is too difficult for any defender. You could literally put Jaap Stam and Rio Ferdinand, 25 years of age apiece, in that position, and they would still get tore apart on a regular basis, being exposed to that point. The reason why Saliba and Gabriel are so good, yes, they're amazing. They've got great recovery pace, but it's also the strength and the solid bank of players ahead of them that doesn't allow them to be that isolated. It isn't just about individual performance. It's much, much more than that. The difference at the moment between Chelsea's ownership and United's ownership is one has steadied the ship. The other one has gone down with it. Well, what I would say is this. You are right. One of them has been there, though, for 2 and a bit years. The other one has been there for 1 summer. And in fact, the people running our club have been there for 4 months. So I absolutely expect Chelsea's owners to have Chelsea in a better position than our owners have us, considering the differential in time between how long we've been here. If we're still like this in 2 to 3 years' time, that would be beyond a crisis. So I absolutely agree. Chelsea are and should be in a better position than Man United. Because getting involved in the second yellow means getting involved in the first yellow, not supposed to be indifferent both officially. That's a logical that makes logical sense, and I understand it. However, I feel if the second yellow, I get your point that 2 yellows should be the same, but where I would challenge you isn't based on what you've said. It's what we hear from the referees, that they often say there's this unwritten rule for like a higher threshold for the second yellow. So if they don't give the second yellow like they give the first one on a regular basis, should they not be consulted? If that referee was told by a linesman or the fourth official he didn't make contact, he wouldn't have given the second yellow. So therefore, I don't see the video referee giving him that information so he makes the right call. And generally, the video referee should just become like the 5th official on the pitch, where they're all just talking and saying what happened, as opposed to retrospectively getting involved. Just do it in real time. Speed the game up. So I do hear you, though, my friend. You make a very, very, very good point. Stop flip-flop, Terry. The Litz and the Butcher is shit. I mean, I'm not flip-flopping. I'm not flip-flopping. I've said they were bad tonight, but I'm telling you, structure is the biggest cause of this. I absolutely believe that. That isn't flip-flopping. That is called having an opinion. Time for the panel now. We've got Cam, we've got KJ, we've got Andrew, the Winter Surfer, we've got Sam as well. Welcome back to the show, gents. I'm going to go to KJ. Look, who's that little one? Who's that little one, Cam?
Meet Kaya.
There we go. Do you know what? She looks so much older when I just saw her hair. They're beautiful. Look at that.
She's like 4 months old today. So
when I saw the head, I thought it was a toddler because her hair's really long.
No.
Well, first of all, Cam, I need to sue you for child cruelty. You're subjecting your child to Manchester United. That should be child abuse, my friend. Oh my days.
By the time she's old enough, we'll be good enough.
Yeah, amen. That'd be great, man. Big up Kaya, man. She's adorable. Right Now my smile has to go because I have to talk about this damn team. It's so many things running through my brain, you know, so many emotions going through me right now. There's a part of me that wants to say I was right. There's a part of me that wants to just throw my camera at the wall. There's a part of me that wants to weep and mourn for the state of my team. At the end of the day, we know the answer. He is not good enough. That's it. He's not good enough. Today, you went into a game needed to prove that actually what's been happening in the last few weeks has been a blip and we'll get over it. And it just feeds into it more. The way that we played today was honestly horrible. He was so scared of conceding, of getting round through because it's happened to him twice in a row. He was so scared of that he was like, okay, guys, let's compact the midfield. Let's be tight and narrow. But then conceded the wide areas. And then guess where those 2 goals came from? From the wide areas. This guy is so incompetent when it comes to trying to actually set up a structure that covers everything or covers as much as possible. I'm not saying you have to be perfect every game defensively because people will make mistakes. But when you're exposing our players, when you're making their weaknesses shine and none of their strengths shine, I have to look at you. I have to look at the manager and say, what are you doing? Because you bought Onana. You bought a goalkeeper whose best asset is passing and not actually saving shots. And you built a system where he has to save shots. You've got Martinez and De Ligt, who are actually good on the ball, who are actually good at defending when we're on the front foot. But you've made a system that if their midfield gets bypassed, they have to run backwards. But they ain't got the pace to be running backwards. Because today what happened to Martinez, we've seen it happen before. It's not nice to look at, but he's not corrected those mistakes. He decided to put in a European away tie the 2 oldest and slowest mandem in the midfield. Without Ugarte. Without someone with legs next to one of them to try and help them. And furthermore, it's not like we're sitting back. It's not like we're deciding, actually, you know what, with the team that we have, with the players that I've picked, I'm actually going to be deeper because I know Ericsson and Casemiro can't cover the ground. He decides, no, go up there and go gunshot for gunshot, machine for machine. Let it be chaos. Because that's what I saw today. We scored 2 goals. Big up Rasmus, big up Rashi. But let's be honest. We need to check Diogo Costa's bank accounts. Because the way he let those 2 goals in, I swear SEG sent over the care package, the stimulus pack into his account. Because that looked like match fixing to me. Because it made no damn sense how they went in. And after those 2 goals, what did we do? What chances did we make for Rasmus Højlund? What build-up did we give Marcus Rashford to get back in to those kind of positions? Because today he was just isolated by himself, doing as much as he can by himself. And man, today he's invisible. Why is he invisible? Because we can't comprehend playing on the right-hand side. Everything has to go down the left. Everything has to go down the left. That's what I'm saying. He can't coach more than one thing at one time. When we're attacking, it's down the left only. When we're defending, it's make sure we defend the middle and concede the wide areas. And I'm honest, this can't continue, Terry. We can't get to a place where every time we play good is because the manager is under pressure. It's because the manager is looking like he might lose his job.
And the thing is,
it's not sustainable.
It isn't sustainable, KJ, but we're not even doing that anymore. If we're absolutely honest, the first 20 minutes, we were very good. We weathered a storm in the first 5 to 10 minutes and I thought we looked good. We scored the 2 goals. And what is it? I text you. Now we'll see. Yeah. Now we'll see what happens. I weren't celebrating. I was like, now we'll see what happens. Can we do what I think any other very good to decent to very good team in Europe would do from that point? Become hard to break down, become compact, catch them on the counter, get the 3rd goal and kill the game off. No, we became too narrow, as you said, too compact in the sense of we were allowing them too much space out wide. We conceded, and then the tactic was, while we're stumbling around and nearly knocked out, we did what Anthony Joshua did against Dubois. We are staggering We are dizzy. Our legs are thin. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my guard down and I'm just going to start throwing haymakers. And we got caught on the chin. The only thing that saved us in that game was a very late equalize in terms of the result saved us. But you absolutely spot on. Nothing can save this manager for me. And that's why, I know players made individual mistakes and people want to cook our players. And I understand it because that's a fun thing to do. But I stand by what I've said. I think if you took Arsenal's actual team and players now and we swapped, in 6 months' time, some of them look like this. In this system with no structure, they would look and we go, oh my God, he's a system player. Saliba was a system player at Arsenal. No, all players need a good fucking system to be into work. Excuse my language, Cam. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Here's the thing. Before Cam goes off, I don't know if he's going to be positive or constructive. I don't know what he's going to do because Cam is an anomaly right now, to me anyway. I love you, Cam. You know I love you. But here's the thing. Not every single one of our players is bad. I know rivals want to sit here and say, all our players are crap. All your signings are rubbish. But I'm sorry, that's not true. It's not true. Because we have, in that team, we have Champions League winners. We have league winners. We have World Cup winners. Copa America winners. We have cup winners with our own team. So you can't sit there and tell me that 25 men at Manchester United are all rubbish.
Sorry, I'm just getting a Vietnam flashback from me last season. That's what I'm just.
You can't tell me that.
You are right, KJ. And the funniest thing is, KJ. Sorry, Mo. And the funniest thing is, KJ, in the group chat, when I see the Chelsea fans in our group chat, who all last season said, who agreed with me, by the way, this is more Poch than it is the players. There are individual players that need to be focused on, but it's more Poch than the players. Yeah, they're the ones going more in on the players than anybody else. I
don't get into those.
Not you.
You know who we're talking about.
Anyway. No, listen, KJ, can you put the statement out, please? Can you say so? Based on what I'm hearing from you, do you think if you swap managers with Chelsea, if you have Enzo Maresca with these players, would you be playing like better than Chelsea or similar?
If we swapped Ten Ga and Maresca, we would be playing better football than Chelsea. And Chelsea,
okay. Ten Hag is crap. Okay, Ten Hag is crap. We know that. But you said that our players are not bad. You believe with a decent manager, you will see instant impact like Maresca.
100%. Yes. And I don't think it wasn't instant with Maresca either. Like. It took took a few games. Right?
Why is only Man United fans say that? Is it only banter, or you guys maybe are blinded by how bad Ten Hag is?
So Mo, guys. Let me ask Mo a question back so that we can frame this properly. When you're saying, do we think we'll be a better or good team? Can you emphasize on how good for a moment? That will help answer this question.
Oh yeah. Like behind Liverpool and like I believe Chelsea are in the same level as Villa's Emery. Like I believe they are a little bit, maybe sometimes better than Spurs. What I believe Man United are 2 steps behind, not only 1 step. Like I believe there is Brighton look better than you at the current moment. Coaching, not coaching. I believe you are 2 steps behind. What I believe Chelsea, Aston Villa are 1 step behind. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I tried to put it in levels.
So based on that, I think we would agree. So yes, if we had a manager, head coach that was coaching us and drilling us much better, I think we would be performing to the very well to the level you're talking about. Then what we would see is individual players that are not good enough that we then go right. Like Chelsea did this summer. Chelsea have added some really good quality this summer just gone to their squad. If Maresca took over last season's squad and didn't add any new players to it and had what he had last year, they'd be better than under Poch, but I don't think they'd be as good as they are now. That's why, even with a world-class manager, it's still going to take 2 or 3 years minimum to get us to a point where we can compete for the league, because we all know the squad needs to be improved. However, I don't think that our squad is so bad that it concedes 3 goals or more 24 times in the last 2 years, which is more than any other team in the Premier League. I don't believe the squad's that bad. If the squad was that bad and it was purely the squad, we would have been relegated, because relegation teams don't have records as bad as that. This is about the structure of our side, and I'm not too sure where that it's coming from. Sam, that's coming from you, Sam. I just muted you, my friend. There we go. Sorry. So no, that's what Man United fans are saying, and it does get taken out of context a little bit.
Yes.
With a really good head coach, this team could fight for a European spot, could make the top 6. Top 4 this season looks like it'd be really hard how good everyone else is, but a really good manager could definitely make us win the Europa League and could definitely win us a domestic trophy. How do we know this? Because we won domestic trophies with this manager, with this squad. So winning trophies whilst improving is possible with this squad. We are not going to do that this season because we have definitely got worse since last year. I want to run to Cam for a minute. Cam, what did you make of tonight's game in isolation, my friend?
Going to
yeah,
ready to go for a walk soon. Yeah, so I'm like, I was oddly content watching the game, and when I say that, it was because, you know, there's that moment where we were all hoping, like, you know, maybe I'm past the moment, but as DZ kept saying, I could be swayed. I could be swayed. And there was like a catchphrase basically in one of our group chats about like Ten Hag. I could be swayed. There's no more swaying at this stage, right? So for me, when you go up 2-0 and you change nothing at all, you're just like, I'm just going to balls to the wall. Let's just keep attacking, leave ourselves open. And you're like, this guy is clueless. At this stage, he needs, if anybody, it's like, you need wins. You got 2 quick goals. You got 2 quick, I'd say fairly lucky goals. Set your team up differently, pull them in, be like, all right, let's get control. Let's gain some control. Let's see this out. Let's get to the half at least, feeling comfortable, and then we'll figure it out, right? And he didn't do it. So it's just, in my opinion, he's literally just writing his own, this is his own death wish at this point. And I think I'm not going to be anywhere near Ineos now. That's stupid. I think I'm content because I know we're in the first year of a rebuild, and they got one mistake wrong, which was keeping him on. That's fine. You can make that mistake. And I think now they're going to have a proper sit down and figure out who comes in next. I think it's going to be Ruben Nestroy who comes in, and the next year we'll pull in a manager that we've spent all year vetting, figuring out how much we have to pay and all that. I don't think we'll get our permanent manager this year. I'll be very shocked if that happens.
But it's only October though, Terry.
And then,
It's only October though. I'm not going to give him time.
Hang on. Sorry, Mo. Let me just jump in it. Yeah, I mean, I know that's a comment from Sam because we said yesterday, why is he not giving Carlo Ancelotti at Madrid? No, I don't. Because if Eric Ten Hag had just won us how many Champions Leagues and La Ligas in the last 2 or 3 years, we would give him time to get through this.
He would have all the time in the world.
But in both seasons, he's won 2 trophies.
Sorry, Sam. I'm stopping you. I'm muting you. I know I don't do echo chambers normally, but if you're comparing Ten Hag to Ancelotti, you should be
not having a real conversation.
You should be forced to hand in your supportership as a not just a Real Madrid fan.
I'm winding you up, mate.
And so am I. And so am I. Let me finish the fucking punchline. Come on. Anyway, sorry, Mo, over to you. I want
to just say one thing about the players that KG is talking about. I have a belief normally that players get
Put
worse.
the bottle back in, Daddy.
That makes sense, KG. I don't believe that Alessandro Martinez is as bad as we're seeing him today.
Yeah.
But I believe that players with bad coaching, sometimes they're too far gone. And let me give you an example. Marcus Rashford, I believe back in 2016, 2017, when he first came to he was the talented guy, the speedy guy that we saw glimpses today. That goal that he scored today, he used to do that in the youth team and when he came on. The problem is with bad coaching. What people don't realize, you're burning cash, you're burning players. Every game this guy is coaching, these guys, as we say on YouTube, they're losing brain cells. But in football, I'm being serious, KJ. People know this. Everyone that played professional sports know this. With bad coaching, you're given bad instructions, you're absolutely getting worse. Maybe the ability is not getting worse, but your understanding of the game getting worse. You need time. That is the problem with Man United. There is a reason why everyone comes under this coach. They start all right, and then they get worse. And then they're like, okay, why is it? Diego Dallo, guys, this season has been horrific at some games. Why? He was arguably one of the best fullbacks last season. I believe the problem with Man United squad now, some of the players are too far gone. Too far gone.
So,
and I'm afraid.
Can I just real quick? I'm gonna hop off, but like, I don't think they're too far gone. Like seeing Rashford do what he did today and how lively he looked, you're like, it's still there. It's not gone. Like he looked really good today, and he looked good in a lot of other games. I agree with you. The longer that Eric Ten Hag's there, the worse these players are going to get. But for me, I'm at a stage now where it's pretty identifiable what the problem is. Like, we know Martinez isn't that bad. We know we know these players aren't as bad as they're showing up. So the problem is so clear, which is why I can be content, because I'm like, for a bit I was trying to figure out what is the problem. People are like, oh, Bruno, second red clown. Like, I get what the man is out there desperately trying to get a goal. He tried to get his foot there. He messed up. It was a bad play, but it's not like he had a moment of madness and he swung his foot and did something crazy. It was clear what he was trying to do there. It was very clear. Like, that's why I'm giving him a break on that one, because I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. We're so trash. This guy's desperately trying to get a goal and doing anything he needs to do to get it. At this stage, all I'm going to say is I think Erik ten Hag, regardless of what our results are in the next game or whatever, will be gone after the international break. I do think I think today sealed it, and I think it was very easy to steal. I could be wrong, but I do think today sealed it.
Cam, I think everyone's got an opinion on that. Some people think he will go if we win. And me and KJ were saying earlier, there's part of me that feels he will. There's part of me worried that he won't. And Mo thinks if he gets a draw and then a win, he'll stay. But my question to you, Mo, just for a very quick answer, if we win on Sunday and they still sack him, what would, just very concise answer, what would that tell you about Ineos?
They already made up the decision, and finally they made the right decision and they saw the light.
But that wouldn't tell you that. But it wouldn't tell you that they're more serious and better than you think they are.
Yeah, yes, they corrected every time a manager or a board correct their decision. We have to get them credit. Same as Chelsea, when they rectified mistakes that they did before, and now they sign more experienced players. Ineos are not far gone. They made strike one. They made a mistake. They are -1 now. They correct this mistake. They get the right one coming in, right? We'll give them credit, of course. The transfer window in terms of negotiations, I like De Ligt. I said that before. I like Ugarte. I like De Ligt. I like these guys, right? They just need the right manager. And the problem is,
no, I agree.
I don't know who the right manager is, bro.
And that's another debate. That's another debate for another day. I want to do some of these super chats here. One sec, bro. I want to do some of these super chats here. Terry, United will still win the Europa League trophy. Look, we can still win. Cheers, Cam, and see you later, darling. See you later. Okay. Daughter, in case anybody's wondering. I feel like, of course, we can still win it. Now, the one thing I disagree with LB on Tuesday is that Man United's season isn't over at this point. There are 3 trophies we can still win if the manager is sacked early enough, because it's rectifiable. We have good enough players to win at least 3 of the tournaments that we are in. That's also why I want to see the manager go sooner rather than later, because if we do keep it until the next international break, maybe we drop more points in the Europa, maybe we get knocked out of the League Cup, and it's less things we can win. Man United's defense has more holes than my grandpa's underwear. Cheers from a Bosnian fan. Big up yourself over there.
How does he know that? How does he know that?
Why are you looking at
your granddad's underpants? Why are you looking at your granddad's underwear, bro? Hey,
I appreciate the $4.99, but why don't you spend that buying your granddad some more underwear, please?
Exactly.
Come on now. Nav here says, hold on, this druggie honestly believes United will win the Europa League. No, I'm sorry. If you're dropping 2 goals, being in front, what you going to be like against better teams? Crackhead take from who's Cho? Maybe means Cam. But again, but you're not listening to what Cam said. None of us believe we'll win the Europa League with this manager. But I think if we get a new manager come in who builds a good, solid structure, stops us conceding all these goals, and enables us to score and then stay solid, which is not, we're not asking for fucking Pep Guardiola and Fergie's love child here. We're asking for a competent head coach and manager. It's not inconceivable that we win it, because could. It really ain't. Sorry, go on, KJ.
And breaking quote from this guy. I'm telling you, he's lost his mind. I am not right all the time. I am not perfect, but I can see a madman. I can see foolishness from a mile away. Listen, Ten Hag and Rashford. We have to rotate. On Sunday, we have another hard game. We need players to be fit and fresh. We had to play Garnacho. We go quickly to Villa. They have an extra day to recover. They took him off.
It's only October.
Oh my God. He's not injured. Rashford is not injured. It wasn't an injury. He fought. This was in his mind. He thought it was the right thing to do in his mind. I'm telling you, he's lost it. He ain't got anything up there, man. It's just a shiny egg. It's a shiny egg. There's nothing in there, not even yolk, not even egg whites. It's just a shell, empty.
Have you ever bought an egg? Have you ever cracked an egg and there's nothing in it? Once I did that.
Nope.
No, once I bought an egg once and I opened it and it was an empty shell. I don't know how that got through control. It must happen. It must happen, right? Do you know what I mean? I had an egg once with nothing in it. That's Ten Hag's. Imagine Rashford, by the way. Look, he should have squared the ball to Bruno at the end of the first half, but he was on fire. He was on. Imagine taking off your best. Once when I played Sunday League when I was a kid, I was playing for Canvey Island, and we were playing our biggest rivals, this team from Southend, and we had to win to go ahead of them in the league. And it was one of those matches. Both our games the previous season were 3-3 draws, and they were both identical. They were leading 3-3. We came back, and then vice versa. We drew the first game away for their ground 1-1, and we had to win to go, I think, like 2 points ahead of them with 2 games to go that season. And our manager took not just our best player, but our best performing player off on the day, took him off at half time. And we were like, why? His name was Sid, right? Well, why, Sid? Why? He went, well, we take it in turn. Basically, this is before woke went crazy, right? He went, well, everybody has to have a turn of being substituted off, and it's his turn this week. And we're like, but we're against the best team, and we're winning, and we need him. Took him off, and we lost 3-1, right? I always remember thinking to myself, you can't do. I thought at Sunday League, that's someone's dad who did that, right? Imagine a professional manager taking off your best performing player who is cooking Porto for Sunday. Fuck me. Oh my God.
And this is how you know he knows he's gone. Because no manager confident about his job is worrying about game on Sunday when these guys are professionals used to 2 games a week, 3 games a week.
And KJ, that's why I wanted to ask you and Terry this question. Why the fuck was he allowed to stay even in the first place?
Okay, you know what? We're not doing this conversation.
But we've answered this. I'm going to start saying to this question, go watch all our previous content in the last 2 weeks. It's there. Can't keep repeating ourselves over and over. I'm just saying,
warning signals. Warning signals are there.
Hang on a minute. But this is where I can't. When you say warning signals are there, we know it's a mistake, and they've got to rectify it. We know it's a warning signal. But again, you'd be a very silly Man United fan right now to start throwing baby out with the bathwater in terms of the ownership. It's a mistake. We've called it out for what it is. We want them to rectify it. That's all it is right now. What more do you expect us to do? Just give me an idea of what more you think we should do.
No, I expected them to actually have a brain to realize
No, right. So they've got it wrong. We admit that, all of us. Mm-hmm. What more do you think Man United fans should do to Ineos right now?
No, not you, man. I'm not talking about you two. Because you two don't. Okay. You don't run the club.
But you're saying it should be this big like warning sign to us. Warning sign for what, and what should we do about it?
For me, the warning signs are that they might not really have a clue what they're doing.
Okay, so what should I do about that?
No. My broski, you don't run the club. I'm not talking about you specifically, Terry.
No.
Then what does it matter?
If you want us to protest, whatever, I don't care. Here, I got a question. Do you think your club right now has made a mistake with keeping Carlo?
You could say that in a way, possibly.
Okay, so you think that? So what are you doing about Carlo staying? Because you think they made a mistake.
Well, I am this close to tweeting Carlo out. This close.
So okay, cool. So all we need to do is tweet Ineos out, and we fix the club.
KJ, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking when they kept this guy when he was very obvious he wasn't going to succeed, and there was a manager there, for example, Hansi Flick, who plays good football, who I think would immediately put you guys in a very bad position. Why could they not pull that?
He clearly chose Barcelona.
But we've admitted it's a mistake. Like, there's not much more to say about. There's nothing, as you say. If you're saying we can't do anything about it, and we've addressed it, why do people keep bringing it up?
Because they want you to say that Ineos are incompetent. That's what Sam wants.
But no one's going to say it right now.
They are incompetent.
Exactly. See, Terry, he said it.
There we go. I am rattled, right? I am rattled because just come on. I'm not rattled by your opinion. I'm rattled by the fact that as a man, you just don't come on and give your opinion. You ask like roundabout questions. Just come on and say,
I have given my opinion.
Stop interrupting me. In the end, you gave your opinion. And I mean this to anyone who calls into the terrace. Just come on and say your piece instead of beating around the bush. come on and just say, I think
Oh,
Palmer's
people,
better than
he's
Saka.
rattled. He is
I-
rattled.
Hang on, I'm gonna just. I'm. If you want to come on and say Palmer's better than Saka, say it. If you want to come on and say Lissandro Martinez is the worst centre back in the league, come on and say it. Stop beating around the bush and get to the fucking point. Terry, based on what you've said in streams, wouldn't you prefer to get Europa League or Champions League with players brought in and a clear style of play instead of trophies? And I want both. I mean, if we could improve, get European football and win trophies at the same time, Tom, would love that, my friend. But would I prefer no trophies, become a better team, get into Europe and keep getting better and better, but no trophies, versus win the FA Cup again, but come 13th, no progression in the league? Yeah, I'd probably pick the progression. Terry, Chelsea scouted a manager from the Championship with very little experience, with a solid grasp on modern football. Maybe the answer is not world-class proven managers. I couldn't agree more with you. I could not agree more with you. I think there are... I've seen the way Bologna played against Liverpool. I saw the way Gent played tonight. Imagine that coach with higher quality football players. We don't play anywhere near that level of football. We just have better football players. Terry, Rashford was not injured. Ten Hag said we need to rest him for Villa. But yeah, I can't even. Okay, fine. But we can agree these players down tools against Ten Hag. That's my point. If you win, it's fair play. I don't see it because of the toxicity. I don't think they're down tools.
We won't be one. I don't think it's down to tools. They're literally doing bad instructions. And when you get bad instructions and you do it, you're gonna fail. And two, say it is toxicity, it's gonna be gone when the manager goes. Like,
I actually now what you just said. I said on Straight Facts 2 weeks ago to Terry when I said I'm not attacking the guy personally, Ten Hag, but he says stuff and he does things that not a normal human being, like a normal somebody with the right state of mind, would not say and do. And now I still refuse to believe that this is someone with full sanity unless he wants. Sorry, I don't know the guy personally, but that is the reality. You don't go out and say this stuff. You don't go and say I'm the second behind Pep. But I'm gonna say one thing. Maybe he wants the 17 million pounds. Maybe he just wants the 17 million pounds.
But by the way, it's not 17 million pounds as well. That's
what ESPN reported. Just
but it's very easy to work out. You look at what he's paid as a base salary versus how much time's left on it. You do the maths. It works out about 12.
So 12 million.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, if you get
about that. Give us Bruno, please, from an Arsenal fan, is what Wisdom says here. And by the way, what will also happen, and this is something Man United fans have got to prepare themselves for. Players like Bruno and Rashford will leave because I think they just need to, maybe, but they're going to go elsewhere and look really, really good. And you've just got to not then kick off. The reason why I say about the Sandro, I know he's a much better player than we're seeing. You don't see any Argentina fans complaining about how bad he is, do you?
No,
they absolutely. Exactly, but again, that's exactly the point. We're talking he's in a team where the structure is good, and you see the best of him. That's why Man United fans have got to hold.
I wanted to ask you about.
Go on very quickly. Go on.
Would you keep Garnacho, or do you? Because I'm
not going to give you my opinion. Just give me your opinion, please, because that's what you really want to do. So just give your opinion.
Hold on, I've asked you. I'm not okay. This time I'm not right. I mean, I promise you.
My answer is give me your opinion.
If you want to answer, because
Terry, I'm going to be real with you.
We won't. I don't believe, and I don't think Terry believes we should ship out Garnacho at all, because he's clearly a guy with talent. He's really clearly got with mentality. Because if you look at today, he came on and he wasn't stopping. He wasn't stopping. He was taking shots. He was putting crosses in. He was hounding down players. He's one of our better players in that second half when he came on. He is being coached by an awful coach. So if you've seen a player who's been talented through the system, was he Man United's best academy player when he was in the academy? He won the FA Youth Cup. He's won 2 trophies with us already. I don't see the need to get rid of him when he's getting coached by a bad coach. Now, if say a good coach comes in and he's struggling and he's not being able to get goals, get assists, do what he does, then yeah, we can have the conversation. But right now, targeting a young player who's actually done stuff for us, like scoring an FA Cup final and winning us a trophy, shouldn't be targeted.
Fair enough. And again, it was not me trying to rattle you to this. This time I wasn't. I was just.
It's not about rattling me. I like you, Sam. We get on, but when you come on the show, every question, every time I answer something for you, you then argue back, and in your argument, you give your opinion. I just think it would save us time if you just give us your opinion.
Yeah, but if I ask you, I'm asking for your opinion. If you want me to don't argue with you, you can just say.
The only reason I say that is because if I was to get into a debate and argument with every single panelist about every single point they make and questions they ask me, the shows would be about 12 hours, and I just don't have the time or energy for it. Let's do some more of these because I have limited time on every show, and I've got to still get to Chelsea. It's the hope that will kill us. Only wants a complete solution now. Ten Hag out, then what? I mean, there's going to be no... But by the way, my friend, if that's what you're asking for, you're going to fail. There's no complete solution next. It's going to take years to make us better. You've got to drop that train of thought. We are not going to go from what we are to being complete because of a managerial change in a short period of time. It isn't and won't happen. Man United defense. Sorry, already done that one here. So Mo is structuring. I don't quite know.
Not at the current moment, my friend. They need to make the right decisions about the manager first, and then we'll say the structure.
But Terry, how long do you think Ten Hag is staying? No idea. Should be by the end of this week, but I'm not in the boardroom. Cam looks like Vega from Chelsea. I like that. Ten Hag forever, no matter the weather. You're singing Chelsea fans singing an Arsenal song. Oh my God. I swear that's North London forever. A Chelsea
London fan forever.
Why Chelsea? Oh no, you don't sing that song. It's like a Man United fan making a new version of You'll Never Walk Alone. Give Ten Hag 10 more years. He'll get 10 more trophies. I mean, that's the embarrassing thing for everybody else that hasn't won trophies in that time. This man has won more. Imagine this manager has won more than Spurs and Chelsea and Arsenal in this time period. That is a huge L for you lot, to be fair.
Yeah, and a W for you, man.
I said to Mo, let him keep. If you would keep, let you win more cups and he'll stay longer.
Yeah, keep that. I agree with
so good.
Serious question. We know you were joking about your grandpa, so were we. How much was on Man United's defense on Porto scoring on the counters? Look, individuals definitely made mistakes, but you cannot condemn the defenders solely where one good long 40-yard pass or one tackle that you don't win then leads to a 3-on-1 and a 4-on-1 situation. That is structural. You can't leave yourself in that position. And I'm not surprised players lose confidence. It reminds me of, I grew up in a fighting environment in gyms. And you always had these old, when I was a bit younger, I noticed it more. You have these old heads. There was this guy called Clifton, who was an old K1 kickboxer that trained in, I want to say old, he was probably late 30s at the time. I remember being about 15, 16. And we kind of knew, because the rumors were going around the gym when he weren't there, that he kind of lost his punch resistance. He just couldn't take the punches anymore. But what he also took away from him was his confidence. He had amazing knockout power, but he lost his confidence to set the traps and throw the punches because he knew if he got clipped on his chin, he'd go down. So he ended up retiring after a few losses on the bounce because he just couldn't do it anymore. A team with a bad structure ends up in that same situation because the players know if we lose the ball here or, this goes wrong, I'm going to be caught out. It makes you nervous. It makes you lose confidence. And that lack of confidence is a big, big problem in this Manchester United team. There's no doubt about it. Speaking of confidence, Chelsea tonight, they look full of it in the attack. Winter Surfer.
Yeah, I mean, 11 changes made again. 4-2 is going to look like the goals were sloppy, but I think that's going to be our major enemy in this competition is complacency. But yeah, it was very good overall. I really like Renato Vega. He's someone that's standing out every time he plays. He's a Swiss knife player. You know, he's played at centre back. He's played in midfield. He's played at left back. He's looked very good every time he plays. I'm pleased for Dewsbury Hall getting a goal as well. And Kuka gets another goal. He's got 7 already. Just a good. Keep it going. Keep it ticking. Unlike last season, I don't fear second halves anymore. Under Poch, I always fear the second half. You can tell that Maresca sometimes, there's different urgency second half, but I think he gives them, even if they play well, he still gives them a bit of a kick up the backside at halftime to do more. Yeah, we just move along. So it's just been very, very good. 5 wins in a row. Yeah, it's a year later from last year. So just I'm always happy to watch my team now, even doing previews like on different panels. I'm just happy to talk about my team. You know, we had a loaded subs bench and we didn't even have to use our regular players. You know, Jackson wasn't even in the squad. We were able to give minutes to Mark Gui, Tariq George, stuff like that. And it was just, Tossing got minutes. It was just, it was an overall good performance. And even like the crowd, you know, it's a better atmosphere. The atmosphere is better at Stamford Bridge. And that's what winning does. Winning cures everything, really, for football fans. We're very simple at heart. We're very simple at heart.
We're very fickle. We're very fickle. We're very, very fickle in that way. I did want to ask you about your defense tonight, because Gent did create a fair amount of chances. Is that something you were concerned about at all, or based on there being 11 changes, is that sort of understandable in terms of sort of the chemistry between them?
Yeah, it sort of is. It's also, like I said earlier, I think it's a bit of complacency in this. That could be a enemy in this competition, not being 100% locked in. Like the second goal, especially, it was just more that we were already 4-1 up and we were trudging along. The first one, we sort of left basically about 4 Gent players by themselves over one side. All our defenders sort of went to one side and they forgot there's like another team that needs to defend against. But I wouldn't worry about it overall. I'm sure when we progress in the competition, if you get to semi-final, final stage, I'm sure we'll switch it and he'll play more of a regular team that we see in the Premier League and stuff like that, or just mix it up. But I wouldn't worry about it at this, because even if we do concede, I'm just always confident we'll score more than any other team in this competition. So it's just that. I think we'll just score more than anyone else, you know, going through. So
this Chelsea second team, if they played Manchester United first team that played today with a chin, I'm being serious. I was thinking about this watching both games. Even the Chelsea second team today looked like exactly the first team with a little bit of less quality. Like Cassidy is worse than Caicedo, 100%. Badiashile is worse than Colwell. You can tell Jurgensen is not fantastic. Like But you can tell that this Chelsea team look exactly the same like the first team. Exactly. Same patterns of play, same way of playing, same direction. Everything look exactly the same, which is what people want, right? This Chelsea second team look like they are good enough to reach the latter stage of this competition where they will add the Jacksons, the Palmers, these guys in January.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Chelsea team and I'm like, Chelsea conceded. Who cares? You know, they're going to score again. Nkunku's quality is going to shine. Neto's quality is going to shine. They have a lot of quality.
I've got a question for you, Andrew, bro.
That defense could be an issue if they're going to.
If you watch the game, you would know that they had no problem.
What was Sam saying? Sorry, Sam.
No, I think their defense, Chelsea's defense overall, I think that could be an issue going later on deeper into these cup competition, and if they're gonna overall, because I think their defense is something that they need to start addressing a bit more, because you're not going to outscore every single team. At some point, it will come across and bite you in the arse.
I will say this, and obviously I will say a big if when Reece James gets fit, you could see either him or Gusto playing in these games right back instead of a Disassi or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And just rotating it even more. You know, like I said, even if we were to concede, but okay, hopefully there's no injuries with the attack. I just see us always in games. You know what I mean? Like scoring against. We should. I'm sorry, but we should win every game in this competition.
I went to say the sooner you get back to the top, the better. I'm telling you, the sooner you get back, the better.
Yeah, but it's sooner back.
Sam, can I ask you a question though, Sam? I actually agree. I think if this Chelsea team keeps leaking goals like this, it'll be a problem later in the competition when you play better teams. Do you not think though they will bring some, as they get into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, they'll bring in the sort of actual first teamers, the Levi Colwells, etc., and resolve that problem organically?
But Terry, those players have been shocking even in the Prem. Did you just look at the Brighton game? Look at the mistake that they were making over
That
there.
was a goal.
I think that's a bit harsh to say shocking. I really do.
that was
Okay,
more than
no,
that.
Bro,
but-
Sanchez gifted.
no, but-
What are you
that was a
talking
goalkeeper.
about?
No, but it's not
Sam, Sam, just
No,
correct
no,
the-
sorry. No, let Sam make his point back. Let Sam
Look,
make his point back.
look, I'm
In
not
fairness,
just-
I tried to rattle Sam earlier and didn't work, so this time I'm going to let him talk. I tried to rattle him like I rattled him yesterday.
You rattled
and it
me
didn't
yesterday,
work.
so now I've rattled you.
I know. I have a few people in the comments calling me out, and I'm like, no, they don't realize I get on with Sam, and I did it yesterday. I tried doing it again now. People are just so weak. It's unbelievable.
Guys, listen. It's nothing against Terry, okay. I actually like Terry. He's a cool guy, yeah. But when he gives me, I will give him back. The game's the game.
Exactly, and I tried to reverse it, but there we go. Go on, carry on, Sam.
Look, my point is, it's not just a Brighton game. If you look at the, there was another team. Nadi Madueke scored a hat-trick. Who was it against? Wolves. Again, yeah. I would say even the goals then. For me, there is a way that you've seen that the defense might not even be that good as people think. And I think they haven't even played these very good teams yet, apart from City. I think when you go up against these big teams, they could come and bite them in the arse if they make those kind of mistakes there, because those teams have the firepower and the defensive structures.
That's more of a thing where the system is new. Granted, remember, Fofana's barely played any football in 2 years, and Colwell's been shifted from left back to centre back on the pitch so much. They are not going to be perfect in the first few months of them playing in the system and playing together as centre back pairing. Cucurella's only just found form in the last few months of the last season. And obviously, Gusto is a very good player already, and Reece James is a good player, but they both get injuries in inconvenient times for Chelsea. So that just needs a bit of time. And like Terry said about the going in later in the competition, by that time, I think most of Chelsea's deficiencies defensively won't be 400% sorted, but you can see a lot more solid, a better solid base defensively.
And if we can keep Lavia fit, as well, that and pairing with Caicedo in the middle and stuff like that, that can help. Listen,
possible.
KJ's right. This is the first time in 2 years we've had consistent centre back partnership, so to speak, or even like two of the defenders starting, like Cucurella and Colwell starting nearly every game and played it. And we've been lacking that due to injuries and constant changes and stuff like that. After the international break, who's the phony tough and the crazy brave? Because they're gonna go through fire in terms of the fixtures that are coming up, especially away at Anfield and home to Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be tested then. We'll see who's good enough. We're going to find out even the coach. We're going to find out how good is Maresca, because he's going to be tested in those games coming up after the international.
That's my point. These big games coming up. That's what I'm saying. I think the real test will start coming up then.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Andrew, about Chelsea. So Chelsea clearly made mistakes at the start. You know, with Tuchel and the manager and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you are now, do you care?
No, I think I said it to Mo. I think I said it to Mo on one of his streams. I said I am pleasantly surprised, like really pleasantly, because let's face it, I don't care if you're the most positive Chelsea fan. No Chelsea fan is ever going to convince me that they were fully sold how that Maresca was going to be this good to start with. No Chelsea fans ever going to. I'm going to call them liars right now. Even if you're in the chat saying you knew, you're liars. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's just he's just taking ownership from. He's a total 180 from last year's coaching Poch. Just taking ownership of what's happening. You know, get who he wants to work with. You know, challenging players. 11 changes tonight. Like Mo said, they were still playing the same, but they want to get into this team. Do you know what I mean? Most of them want to get into this team. They want to be part of it. They want to be part of it. Something's happening, and that's just a refreshing thing. I am so pleasantly surprised because I had my doubts on Maresca. Of course, you're going to have. If you're bringing a championship manager to Chelsea, of course you're going to have doubts. Don't tell me what he did at Leicester, because we were told he likes to play with two touchline wingers and he's not adaptable. Well, that's out the water this season, isn't it? That's because he was in the Championship. He had to. The Championship, for people who don't know, is the hardest league to get out of. Yeah. Okay, he had to probably change his style to get out of the Championship. But yeah, I mean, he's just it's just a breath of fresh air.
And do you think that the way that the players are responding to the way that you guys play is that's what is the system and the play style the reason why these players are hungry to be playing for Chelsea?
I think it's a bit of everything. I think he's challenging them. Like I said a few minutes ago, last year's second half, I used to fear how we played.
Mentality.
When we come out in the second half, we used to be flat. Do you know what I mean? We used to concede right away or didn't used to play well. I think even when we play well, I think he still gives them a kick up the backside and say, you can do better. Do you know what I mean? Like today, we went 1-0 at half time, total control, but he probably went in there, why aren't we 2 or 3-0 up? Start the second half, we go score right away. Okay, we concede right away, but we go in again and again. He's challenging people like Keenan Dewsbury Hall has been, I don't know why, but some of my fan base has been unfairly targeting him. But, you know, like he played well tonight. I know it's against Gent and everything like that, but he's challenging them. He challenged them just to get on the bench, I think, as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're leaving people out.
I think you can see that. And I don't think Chelsea have the finished article yet. And
nowhere near. We need a goalkeeper.
But you can see the improvement that is there, certainly. We have a few super chats here. First one said, with Chelsea 5 out of 6 games into a new system, the way we are playing now after 5 or 6 games, imagine what happens towards the sharp end of the season. I'm worried as an opponent. Look, if Chelsea keep getting better and that improvement is exponential, they could be a very, very dangerous team indeed by the end of the season. Defense was spotty at times. First half, a little difficult getting Nkunku involved. We rushed some plays, make it messy, and we will improve with time. Jay Moore says it took Poch until March to April to sort out a starting 11. Enzo was sorted out with 2 separate starting 11s with league and cup games by September and October. We can actually see a style and a system developing. It's true. I would also say this. There are some teams in Europe, and I think Liverpool came across that with Bologna on yesterday, that some teams just play very good attacking football that's hard to stop. Brighton, when Brighton play well, they can cut through any team in the Premier League in terms of making chances. Whether they finish them or not is a different conversation. I thought Enzo would be a massive failure, but he's turning it around. But I've noticed one thing: Chelsea and Italian managers seem to work out at Chelsea.
Yeah, there's a great history of Italian footballers going back to, you know, Vialli when he first took over. Do you know what I mean? So there's a good history there. You know, hopefully it resolves in silverware. That's all matters to me. Do you know? So
there you are, bigger winter surfer, landing it. Come on,
I just
silverware. The only thing that matters, bro.
Sort of.
No,
as long as
come on.
I don't want to win.
Would you take?
Here we go, Sam.
Go on, KJ.
Would you take Erik ten Hag as your next manager?
No. What do you think this is? A service?
1 second, Sam. But you've just said trophies are all that matter. The man has shown they can win trophies every year. For 6 years in a row, he's won at least 1 trophy.
Okay, I'm going to give you one chance to take it back.
Apparently, crap Manchester United team. So surely you would want him.
Okay, I'm going to give you one chance to take it back before I absolutely school you on this now. You've got 1 chance to take it back.
Go on, let's do this.
All right, listen, one sec.
Get your pen and paper ready, KJ. Take notes.
Let's go. My boy.
Okay, is Erik ten Hag the only manager out there available for me if I say Carlo? That has won anything.
Sam, let me just answer that question though.
There's literally 2 of them.
Sam, I think you've done your own point though. You've said that there's nothing more important than trophies, but there is. What is more important than just winning trophies is having a manager that can consistently make you good enough to win bigger trophies, win leagues, and consistently stay at the top. So just because you win some trophies, that's where I disagree with you. I think trophies at the end result are exactly what everybody wants. But there are multiple components that go into winning trophies that cannot be ignored as unimportant, because without them, you don't get that consistency in which you want. So, for instance, you may want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the gym, but let's just not pretend that consistency, good sleep, eating well, cutting out alcohol, all those things are components of looking in that way. If it's just all that matters, Terry, is lifting heavy weights, that's nonsense, because you can lift loads of weights. But if you eat Big Macs every day, you won't look in that way. So I agree with you. The end result is trophies. But where you are, where Chelsea are right now, where you are, where Man United are, there are multiple other things that we have to see first before we can even think about getting to the place that you want to be in. So I think me and you agree with the end destination 100%. but we can't ignore the other important components and factors that go into getting there, surely.
Yeah, but I can also give you Pochettino under Spurs and Arteta right now Arsenal, who's won, what is it, F4 now, and still improving as they were doing at that time.
So
Would you take them, though? Would you take them?
No, he wouldn't take them. And
absolutely not.
And Sam, let me respond to that. I understand where you're coming from. And if Arteta doesn't win any major trophies, then yes, he improved them and they played excellent football and they've done well in that regard. But then he wouldn't have made them a team that is absolutely that could even be talked about as a great Arsenal team. I absolutely concur with you in that basis. But now Arteta is being judged, in my opinion, on the trophies that he's winning over the last couple of years. When you look at Arteta when he first took over Arsenal and look what they were, the squad they had, the players. I don't think Pep Guardiola could have got that team that he inherited, winning Premier Leagues consistently or even
no, but he
challenging.
would have won more cups along the way.
No, because he's also a more experienced manager who is probably better than Arteta and any other current manager around will ever be. Again, but there's one of him, right? The point I'm making is that depending on who your manager is and where you are in terms of where your club is at this moment in time, there are things that come before winning the trophies. But where I agree with you is the end result has to be to get there. The end result can't just be top four and we're happy as a football club when you're a massive, giant club. I agree with that element completely. This comment here says, how is Mark still back in Ten Hag? I don't know. I haven't
because
seen.
He's on the payroll. That's why the guy's on the payroll.
Okay. Let's stop that.
No,
he is. I'm sorry.
Hang on. When you say he's on the payroll from whom?
From someone from the club, for God's sake. That guy will do anything to sell his soul. That's why I unsubscribed to him. I'm not watching that guy anymore.
KJ. So I understand you saying that. What is it that he does that makes you think he's being paid by the club?
Because the fact that he keeps defending this manager when there is nothing to defend him for. There is absolutely zero arguments to defend this guy. He kept saying, and the thing is, he even said after the FA Cup win, you can't sack this guy, he's won us, look at the players and all that. Then he gets in a new sort of players, but then he keeps slandering these players. Oh, mate, you can't have it both ways. So you want him to have a proper structure. He's had it now. He's bought players that he wanted, and they're still being crap. And guess what? If this is the case, stop putting the blame on just the players and start looking at the guy up there who can't coach it properly. And if he's going to have this energy just one thing. If he's going to run the same energy that he was doing for Mourinho, who was doing better than Ten Hag, and what's the other guy? For Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and these men, we'll have the same energy for Ten Hag then, mate.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Some of these men, I'm sorry, mate, but...
Okay, so I agree with your opinion about... I think Mark's wrong about defending Ten Hag and putting it on the players. So I agree with you on that. The reason I don't believe he's being paid is because there are other people that sit on his channel weekly that rip into the manager every week. So my view is if his business, if the United stand was getting access and getting information based on you, but you have to defend Ten Hag by the football club, why would Mark be allowing other people to absolutely rip not just Ten Hag, but the club captain and other individuals? So I agree with your opinion. I think Mark's wrong. That's why I want to debate him about it. However, the idea, it doesn't make sense because, again, if I had to always praise Fabrizio Romano, otherwise he'd stop giving me information. This is hypothetical. He doesn't. If we always had to say Fabrizio was right on the terrace, I'd have to make sure my employee, like KJ, also echoes it. Otherwise, Fabrizio's going to say, well, your employee's saying I'm wrong. That ain't part of the agreement, right?
Listen, you might be right. I might be wrong on this, yeah? But this is just what I'm feeling from how I've seen him. But for me, the guy's a flip-flop as well. Also.
Cheers, Mo. We're near the end.
Why is it that when someone has an opinion that supports someone, it's automatically they're paid by X club and that club? Why can't it just be their opinion?
It's not just that, though. It's not just that. Look. This is where you and I are mistaken. Just because you have a different opinion to me, it's not me saying that you're ultimately getting, not believing in what you're saying or doing X, Y, and Z. The issue is I've watched that guy for years. All right, this geezer, the way he's talking now, the way he's moving, this wasn't him before.
Sam, are you the same person that you were last year?
What?
How old are you now?
But hold on. But can I finish my point?
Sam, how old are you now? Simple question.
What?
How old are you?
20. I'm 22.
You're 22. Are you the same person you are when you were 18?
No, of course you learn new things.
There we go. So
Yeah, but KJ, you're missing my point. You're missing
Sorry,
the point.
make your point for us, because we've got a few more super. What's your point? What's your point?
Yeah,
there?
okay. The point is, my whole point is, the way this guy is speaking right now, I don't even believe he backs what he actually said. I just think he says things just to swerve with the way. This is my whole point. It's not about me saying you can't learn.
Maybe.
Obviously, when you get new facts in, your views changes. Obviously,
No,
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying, but my point is, when people ask me this question, I'm giving you the based on the fact that he's saying back the manager this and that and all that. I just think it's a flip flop.
Again, I understand your point. I think it's so interesting though. You know, we've had people on the football terrace, and I've been tuning in tonight. Big up Lee Gunner. Hope you're good. I remember we played a video of Lee from years ago, and he had a different outlook compared to what he's like now. Now, of course, when we used to do the show together, I'd banter him and say he's a flip-flop. Like me and you tonight, we had a bit of an argy-bargy. We know it's a little bit of pantomime. We know it's a little bit of fun. But people do change. They see, you learn something and see things from a different perspective. I think what happens when you get as big as someone like Mark Goldbridge, yes, you get access to things that smaller YouTubers and content creators don't, because you're more powerful in that way. Your influence is bigger.
Of course.
And people come to you. But I just look at it like, again, I don't agree with Mark, but there's nothing that Mark does that makes me think the club are paying him. The same as there was Chelsea fans like CB, very small in comparison to Mark Goldbridge, who's very, very complimentary of certain elements of the club and condemned other areas. Some people thought he was on the payroll. I'm like, why would Chelsea pay this kid? But his opinions were very similar. And there are people that agree with Mark Goldbridge who don't even have platforms. But what, are they being paid? I just think that I just don't believe
I'm questioning their standards and their ambition.
Questioning the opinion, I think there's no issue with it. I've got no issue with that. This here, sorry, I've already done this super chat. It's going to be annoying when Chelsea win this trophy and pretend it's a major achievement. It's essentially a free trophy for finishing 6th last year.
Hey, we've that would have mean we've won every trophy we can ever compete for. So you know, and it's our 3rd UCL. Yeah. That's the initial competency.
You can defo see the difference between the A and the B team. Still a bit shaky to Chelsea's first team. Yeah, I agree with that. I do.
I think that's to be expected, though. Those players aren't playing a lot, you know, together as well. So
yeah,
it's fine.
What I think Chelsea have done and taken a step back and look at the most successful managers in history over the years. They made a risky move with Enzo. Something tells me that I could be insane. I've always said all along, I thought it was I know it's a bit of a, maybe you could look at it as fence sitting, but I always thought it was going to go disastrously or amazingly. I always just had this gut feeling that it was going to be one or the other. It was never just going to be a sort of beige move. What a lot of players complained about playing time, and Chelsea with the amount of players they have. Should we have kept this amount of players? I think you should have done. You're in 4 competitions and you've got the World Club Championship at the end of the season.
We don't have a big squad either. We got like a normal size squad.
Don Carlo has more class in his toes than all of Real Madrid.
Oh, we do because we demand. Yeah.
I love Sam. Sam's great. Sam is absolutely great. If you watch each goal, you'll see that Badiashile played the attacking in twice, and Sanchez caused both against Brighton individual errors. Now, I do agree. I think it was more individual errors from Sanchez at the weekend, but that's an area. And thank you, Red Indian, who says, big up the terrace, good content. Thank you very much indeed. Look, I want to thank everybody that has tuned into the show today. I want to thank my panelists, and I just get a bit heated, but that's the name of the game. If you're offended by it, I don't know what to say to you. Until next time, people.
I was going to redirect. This will go.
Yes, this video is redirecting you to Footy Judge Mo's channel, so go over there and support him. Until next time, take care. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And 1 second, I need to do something. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.